for it to be on the show. And I brought you one more thing because there's a kind of unusual document in my family that I wanted to show you. You know, there's a debate about reparations in this country now, and a lot of people say that they're impractical, they're impossible to implement. But, you know, my grandmother and that sort of stable, happy life you see her having is possible in part because she actually gets reparations. She gets hundreds of dollars each month from the German government. And I brought you one of the statements so that people could actually see that this is a real thing.
Yeah, but I'm so fascinated why she can be so sunny, considering all that she has seen, to see the death of her brothers, the little nieces and the nephews that clearly didn't make it. I marvel at people like that, and I'm so glad that you brought the story to us. I'm very fascinated by your grandmother now, and I heard that you took her to get vaccinated, Jody, in January. What was that like?
You know,
look at that picture.
I was so worried during coronavirus that after my grandmother, who's kind of a survivor among survivors and has survived everything, I was so worried, Gail, that this degrading, isolating pandemic that we've all lived through was going to take her. And when I took her to get vaccinated, it was like, it just represented life, Gail. It just represented like my grandmother, you know, survived the Nazis, and now she is going to survive this, and we are going to get, you know, some of our elderly through this safely.
Jody, it's Anthony. I find the reparations thing so interesting because the check itself is essentially an admission by the German government that we wronged you. And so in that sense, it's a very powerful, it's not just money, it's a powerful statement in its own way. How long has your grandmother been getting it, and has it helped her emotionally in some way?
Well, she's gotten it, I think, since the 50s or the 60s. It's always been a part of my family. It's part of the family story. You know, the language I wish you could see is so spooky. They come in German, and it says for Schaden, which means for harm, which is, you know, just these words hint at the kind of universe of loss that she endured. But when we taped that interview last week, I asked her, I said, Grandma, can you explain how these reparations have helped you and therefore me live a more stable life and recover from this trauma? And she said, Jody, the money is mine. And what she meant is this is not charity. She was slave labor. She was in these forced labor camps. And she's saying these were the wages I was never paid when my life was taken from me and I was forced to work.
Are you allowed to say how much the reparations are?
Yeah, it's in the high three figure.
Okay.
It's in the high three figures per month, and so when you think about that month after month.
Right. Yeah. No, it adds up. Jody, thank you for giving us.
It's a lot of money.
We've got to go, but such a powerful story. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for sharing it. We'll be right back.